What is up, everybody? Welcome to Hot Makes, the show where we get hot guests on to talk about hot things that everybody made. My name is Caleb. Nerdy J is actually not here tonight. He texted me like 3 minutes before the show or so and was like, hey, dude, something's going on. I have no idea what's going on. He said his family is okay. Nobody worry about that. But I don't want to get too much into that because I don't know what's going on. But he had a last minute thing and he can't make it. I've already said too much. Anyway, so that being said, it has nothing to do with the guest. It has everything to do with the fact that, as you guys know, as we've shown on the show before, when Jim's not here, I get real awkward. I'm used to being behind the scenes. I've been hanging out on the stream more recently. But Jim, being the ex-DJ himself and great announcer and what's it called at the events, the MC at the events, he tripod 3 minutes, yeah, more time than usual. But Jim being kind of the entertainer already, he usually carries the show, and I just kind of like, I'm just here. I'm used to doing things in the background, and then I'm just here. So I'm also running on 3 hours of sleep, so we're gonna power through this and probably be done a little early tonight. Okay, so boilerplate stuff. There's a link in the description below in the description below of the. Wow, there's a link in the description of this video for all the things we talk about in today's show. If you enjoy the show, consider donating to the show's Oreo fund. It's just the donation fund. There's a link to that in the description as well. If you include the text Hot Makes in that donation in some way, shape, or form, we can attribute it to the show. Brian loves Awkward Caleb. I appreciate that. Also, normally I pop comments up because Jim will be talking and I'll just like this. And I'll be able to, but I'm sorry, guys, if I can't keep track of everything on my own. We also have enough subscribers now. We've got super chats. If you wanted to donate in that way, just keep in mind that PayPal is better because YouTube takes a ton of the cut on the super chats. But there's Zombie Hedgehog. Thank you for the banana. Hang on. I will show that one. I have to. It says banana super sticker. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'm going to talk about you here in a little while when we get our guest on. Everybody knows who the guest is. Yeah, Ed is correct. I have not been in the background for a while. Anyway, also make sure you're watching and subscribed over on the actual Hot Makes channel. Nightbot should be throwing that in the chat, but yeah, I'd like to drive as much traffic there. We're currently simulcasting on the Hot Makes channel and the Edge of Tech channel for the sake of getting more people watching, but yeah, I'd like to get as many people on the Hot Makes channel as well. This is awkward. What's everybody doing? What are you guys drinking? I'm drinking water because it's the best way to try to keep myself awake, I guess. I feel like coffee would be better. Kieran wants to know what a Fixumdude is. All right. So, as you guys know, our guest tonight is the one and only Fixumdude. Fixumdude, Mr. Fixum, first name Fixum, last name Dude. Everybody's familiar with him. Everybody loves him. Everybody talks. I talk too much. I'm having a hard time breathing. You are correct, because I'm just trying to be not awkward, but I'm being awkward. Invite someone to help with the call-outs. Maybe. We might just open this up a little bit. Maybe not. Brian Vines, Fixumdude. All right. I'm just going to bring him in because I'm being weird. Everybody, without further ado, Mr. Fixum, last name Dude himself. How you doing, man?
Hey.
How awkward was that? Was that awkward enough?
Yeah, not bad at all.
So I actually, I reached out to you to see if you wanted to be on the show, and you actually had a little bit of a background story of the fact that you've wanted to be on the show for a while, which surprised me because everybody in the community talks about you. Everybody in the community loves you. Everybody loves your work. Like, and you're such a positive voice. Pulling that, I mean, I guess I pulled that directly from your description, but you are a positive voice. I would say your goal to be a positive voice in the community is has been met and exceeded.
All right.
So I'm really surprised that you haven't been on the show yet. I'm surprised that that reaching out was the first time.
Oh, well, I've just been a huge fan since I started 3D printing, so I can't remember even when I started watching, but just kind of when we got into the whole, 3D printing nerd and
Yeah.
Maker's Muse, all those channels, and we started watching HotMakes, and I love checking out everybody's cool stuff. It gives me a lot of inspiration and sometimes jealousy, but there's some really good makers out there.
Well, you've also you've posted quite a few things that have been tagged, and shown on the show as well, and a lot of them, I don't know, it's just it blows my mind how you can continue to kind of not just build off of other people's ideas, but also come up with some of your own, quite a few of your own. And your designs are solid. Like, it's just, you can just kind of throw them at your printer and they just go, which is amazing. But yeah, and you, it's weird hearing somebody say that they're a fan of the show, but is appreciated. Tripod says he's not a maker, just a fixer, but you can't fix something without breaking it. So
true. I have broken a lot of stuff over the years. So fixed a few things.
Pezliz says you have a list. You never stop, and you have a list.
Oh yeah.
Do you? You got a long list?
It's probably, with all the lists combined, probably a couple hundred things in different areas, but a lot of 3D printing.
Is this all designing, like model designing wise?
Some of it, maybe like 100 things, but I mean, they don't all come to fruition. It's just, get an idea or see someone else's, hot make, and that'll spark something. Just like I'm sure a lot of the modelers and artists out there, you build on the shoulder of giants. So
yeah,
you just, I jot it down, and then sometime you get back to it, sometime you don't. I just was showing everybody my list where I had the Wall-E kit card on the list to do, and then someone else did it in the kit card contest on printables, and it's like kicking butt. So I was like, oh well.
Move on to the next one.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, it's weird to me in a good way. I say weird in a good way that you see things on this show that inspire you to do more things that end up being shown on the show. And that you described yourself as a fan of the show, but like I would think of us and a lot of people in the community as a fan of yours. So it's this, I feel like it's this like self-feeding cycle, which is super cool. But
it's neat. I think it's really, that's why I enjoy the show so much, because it, just seeing as someone who works in the industry I work in, I'm not exposed to a ton of like creative stuff all the time. So it really is nice to be able to have a show like yours where you get to see like all the incredible, modelers and makers. Like, I can make a model, but just some of the models or the way that people finish models, and it's just phenomenal to me, and it just blows my mind. So just seeing all this amazing creativity just really helps, spark more creativity, like you mentioned, and it does help feed the cycle, I guess.
And I love seeing like when you do you've done some of the birthday designs, and I love seeing how different people will just everybody in the community will just kind of flood in and take that same design and print it in different materials or finish it in different ways. And that's kind of, speaking of what you're talking about, having that ability to kind of see, even when it's the same thing across multiple people, seeing their own spin on it, their own take on that, their own creative take on that. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's really fun for me. So that's part of the reason I do it. Like, all the models are free, but I really enjoy just seeing the filaments and the colors and like I said, the finishing that people do. And so I enjoy it when people post their makes, and that's what makes it fun for me, is to see that hopefully people are enjoying the models and having fun printing them, and that's the whole reason I do this, is just for fun, kind of an outlet to get away from the world, so to speak.
So have you? I'm sorry, I just noticed the Maker Deck posters. Those are sweet.
Oh,
So have you had? And if anybody has any questions for FixUmDude while we're here, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and I'll do my best to keep track of them on my own tonight. But so do you have a history in? You don't have to get too personal if you don't want to, but do you have a history in like engineering or design, or is this just entirely a hobby that's just kind of grown into, like when you design things, they're solid. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And I know that takes practice.
Yeah, it's kind of all of the above, really. So in high school, I wasn't sure what I was going to be. I did always enjoy art from like as a little child all the way up through college. And so I started off, but I knew I wanted to make a lot of money. Weren't a real advantage as a kid. So, and I love computers. I've always loved computers since the first time I saw my friend's VIC-20 back in the 80s at his house. I've been hooked.
Yeah.
And, so anyway, I started off in computer engineering actually, and then did that for a couple of years, and I still took art classes on the side just for fun. And then I realized once I got like past calculus, I'm like, this is way too hard. Why am I killing myself, with this really hard math? And then a girl I was dating at the time was like, well, you don't have to do it. Why don't you switch? And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I could. And there's no law. So I transferred schools to something much cheaper and switched to advertising art, and then ended up getting a fine arts degree. So I've got a little engineering background, and then some art background, and then that kind of helped me. The place I work, I actually got the job from my roommate when I was in computer engineering. He went on to become an actual engineer, and so they needed a sticker for a product he invented.
Mm-hmm.
So he called me up and said, hey, can you make a sticker and a brochure? And I was like, I don't know, but we'll give it a try. And so I was in college. I hadn't even finished yet. So I've been working with him for over 30 years now at that same company. So anyway, awesome. But it helps me to have the engineering background to speak. We have a lot of engineers at our company, so I have to translate engineer into English for our.
Yeah, it's an entirely different language. Yeah,
so that helps a lot to understand, what's going on under the hood a little bit. Not nearly a real engineer, but so anyway, that fed into 3D printing, where I started watching the shows and realized how much fun it could be, and we could use it for work. So we kind of did a, on the down low, built the 3D printer at the office, and we called it a solution in search of a problem. But we started making templates and things to make things quicker and easier at the office. And then but at first when we first got the printer, you print a few models from someone else's, and then you're like, well, I got to figure out how to do solve my own problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into Tinkercad and then Fusion 360 and started learning how to make the templates and things like that. So that kind of evolved into where we are today.
So how much of that did I just spoil for your by asking that question? How much is your you actually brought a presentation, which not a whole lot of people do. I feel like we've only had one guest in the past who's actually brought some materials to kind of tell a backstory. Is that still applicable? Because I really wanted to see.
No, I can run through it real quick. I won't take too. It was just one I had. Pezlis and I worked on it together to kind of for our interview. So I just had it ready, kind of as a reminder for me to.
I would love to see this.
The highlights. Okay. Let me switch over.
Also, is there a way? Let me see if there's a better way for me to. Oh, what if I do that? There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, this is the FIXUMDUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUU amazing clock that Tom Lama sent me
Of course.
out of nowhere, along with my little Fixumduude kit card that Bugman made for my birthday last year.
That's
anyway,
so
this
cool.
clock sits right over my desk at work, and I look at it all day long. So I was blown away. It's an incredible gift. So.
Out of nowhere, he sent me a HotMakes clock and a Geary clock.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why he would have sent me a Geary clock. I don't know who Geary was, but it's still very awesome to have. And I contacted him and asked him to send me one that was cut but not in any kind of fancy expensive wood or finished at all, because I had some ideas. I was gonna set it on fire and do something fun with it.
Oh, nice.
But I have not done that, and it's all in storage right now still. So
yeah, he does amazing work. So I was thrilled when I got that in the mail.
That's so cool. I love that.
One of the examples of just the amazing generosity of the whole maker community. So.
Yeah. Yep. So, okay. Title screen.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So
I don't know if I'm ready. I'm gonna have to strap in.
Like I said, ever since I was little, I loved to draw and paint. And I remember my parents had me like paint a little Mickey Mouse on my sister's crib when I was like 7 years old, and I was nervous I was going to ruin the crib. So anyway, I've like I said, always been interested in art and painting and just making. I used to make my own toys and stuff.
That's cool.
So wish I had a 3D printer back then. Instead of cutting,
would have thought it was written
like wood.
Yeah.
But this is just a few things. Like I won a couple contests in high school, and
that's awesome.
I got the cover of our little Lupus. It was called, the little full of art and poetry and writing, that kind of thing. There's a little cabin I drew in middle school that we got to go to state, and I didn't win at state, and then there's my true one claim to fame was that I won these slime in. Well, it got like third place in these slime in sweepstakes from Nickelodeon. So
awesome!
It's like I still have that.
Oh, that's awesome! That's cool.
My one true prized possession. So my sons will have to fight over that when I die. Then I went off to college. Like I mentioned, I went in engineering. These are actually my first woodworking project were these massive overkill speakers.
Cool. Yeah.
And then
I love the size of the speakers compared to the size of the TV.
Yeah, they were like 4 feet tall. And if there's any real engineers in the audience, I had all 4 of these drivers wired in parallel, which drops the resistance, I found out, to next to nothing, which is not good for your amplifier at all. So, and then while I was at Southern Methodist University, they had a tryout for Win, Lose, or Draw, which we played Pictionary constantly. So I love that game. So we tried out, and this girl's name's Fonda, and I both got picked to be on the show. So that was fun.
I feel like having an artist playing Pictionary with you is almost cheating. It's almost unfair.
I do love it, but yeah, we played at work for like Christmas parties and stuff, and I have to MC. I'm not allowed to play, but here's just a few pieces from college and package design. And I started off working at Walmart in the electronics department. So, and then that's my good luck poster in Hollywood when I took off to go play. We got second place. So those videos are actually on the FIXUMDUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUU see one of my cringiest moments of my life.
Yeah, I heard. VP of E says, be sure to ask him about your time on that show and also dancing on that show. Is that what you're talking about with the cringe, the dancing?
Yes, that and the talking and the last day, like we were going super fast all week. It was a week-long tournament, but we shot it all in one day. And so by the end, we were going so fast, they were trying to slow the show down. And so Bert Convey's like, so Mike, tell me, about yourself and computer engineering. And I'm like, what? So that was not my finest moment, but it's out there if anyone wants to see it. And that was my roommate in college that got me my job, was the one who asked that question.
Oh, that's cool. So is this all furniture that you've made?
Yeah, this is before 3D printing. I got into woodworking, so this is like a bed that I made early on. We used that for about 15 years. Then nightstand, made a little entertainment center to hold our giant tube television, a little bookshelf to separate.
I can hear that thing turning on. Just
yes, exactly. A little table. I think this was the first thing I ever made, and it was terrible, but it was our dining table for a while. And then this is the little dresser that's like right behind me that stores all of my, or some of my filament. Anyway, there's just a few things that I've done. And then this was when I'm an actual deck maker.
It just gets bigger
from a maker deck, but I have actually made a deck.
Sorry, I didn't make that connection at first. That's awesome.
And then also like retro computing, gaming. Like I said, I've been into computers since the VIC-20. So here's a Craigslist haul I found. And our first console was the Atari 2600. We used to sell boards we made at work with a guy I used to work with that would help you refurbish your trackball or your little spinner for Breakout, that kind of game. And here's the cabinet that's right behind me that's still to work on. Here's when it was in the early stages, but we've had a lot of fun over the years with that.
Yeah, I wanted to I saw this on your website and I feel like I saw it when it was released, but tell me more about this guy right here.
Yeah, this is my 3D printing adventure game. Just tried to crank it out in like a weekend over Christmas break, and then of course it took like a month, but I was trying to learn this adventure game construction set thing, or adventure game studio, I think it's called, AGS. And then there's tons of amazing games out there that people have made. Mine's just, if you know what you're doing, you can go through the whole thing in less than 20 minutes. But I think, you guys are on here. That's how long I've been trying to. It's like a little bulletin board in my office in the game.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's got like a lot of the stickers I could find from people I was watching and enjoying at the time.
And you said we're on there?
Pardon me?
You said that HotMakes is on there?
Not HotMakes, but Edge of Tech.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if I could find a HotMakes logo at that time, but
I don't know where to find a HotMakes logo today.
But yeah, this is out there on. I think there's a link to it on my website. But if you're into old school Sierra style, adventure games and 3D printing, then there's little Easter eggs in there when you click on different things in the game that might 3D printing people might get a chuckle out of. So
who is that? Who's that in the picture back there? Is that Chuck?
Maybe you have to click on it and see, but of course it's Windows only. So
a
lot of Mac people are mad at me for not, but that's just a limitation of the adventure game studio software.
Yeah, that's
awesome. That was a lot of fun to make, and I have a sequel planned. Someday if I ever get time to make it.
Might take a little bit longer than just a weekend.
Yeah, definitely. There's just other random stuff. I've made. Most of this is before I even got into 3D printing. Just like a pool ball clock for my dad, and
that's awesome.
Bought this old truck we got out of the mud, and we fixed it up a little bit.
That's awesome. I thought those were two different trucks.
No, it's the same one.
That's cool.
This bed was actually white when we got it, and put it on there. And there's like a mural I painted at Walmart when I worked there in the back. Here's Grugalopoly was a game I made for my family for Christmas. All the properties are places we'd lived, and
that's awesome.
The utilities are places my dad had worked. And
is that you in that costume?
No, that's my oldest son.
Okay.
He's FIXUMDUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUU
That's
I
fun.
really wish we had been into 3D printing then. We could have taken that up several notches.
Oh, I love that it doesn't have anything.
Yeah, it's all
that just adds to the authenticity of it.
And there's a few pumpkins we've done over the years, and some painting for our game room.
You know, a little bit of everything.
The future Mrs. Fixumduuuuuuude right there. We were dating, and
okay, that's cool. So you made one of those. What are you doing with the light? What did you do for the lights in there?
The lights here or in here?
In the like the stovetop and stuff.
Oh yeah, this is just this little play kitchen that we bought and then really jazzed up for my niece.
Okay.
And, so I took the EL wire.
That's what I was
right
saying. Yeah, that's awesome.
Connected it to a little switch on the top, so you can turn the oven on or it's run all through the burner, so it looks like a heating element.
That's cool.
And then we got little lights in the fridge with just a magnetic switch. And then the best part, my favorite, was the microwave, where we got a little keypad and there's an Arduino back there, and got a really noisy fan that runs when you turn on the microwave, and a light comes on inside the microwave and it counts down. And so
that's cool. See, this is the kind of stuff that when I have a kid, they're going to have stuff like this, and the other parents are going to be like, where did you buy that? Where did that come from? Like, I made it.
Yep. That's the fun stuff is doing that. And this is a project I did for a pediatric dentist in our town. Like, we have a sign guy we work with, and he came to me and said, dentist wants this little light mixer he saw at a children's museum. Can you do that? And I was like,
that's cool.
I don't know. We'll find out. So
the sliders, like percentage of what each color is.
Yeah, and they have good ones that shine on this suit of armor and change the color. Cool. I just had cheap, like, separate R, G, and B, but they have the good ones that actually mix the color. And as the kids slide these up and down, it's built into the wall in the waiting room.
So we have FixumDude, we had FixumKid. We also have Fixum Offspring, Fixum Spawn. We showed a picture of Fixum Gal earlier, and now we have I was just about to make another joke when you were talking about that, and I just totally lost it. Oh, now we have Mixumdude.
Oh, Mixumdude.
There we go.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, here's a couple more projects, like electronic projects. We made a light up spike ball for that.
That's cool.
Kid that was in the robot costume for college with his roommates. And then I was a big fan of the ADA boxes, where you get a little project every few months and in a box. And one of them had this little display with a Python controlled microcontroller. So we did a little COVID counter plus a calendar and weather. We just rotate through the screens on our TV, kind of show us.
That's a COVID counter.
Yeah, how many new cases there were in Texas and how many total there were. We had our county on there too.
It's weird to think. Well, I don't want to go down the doom and gloom path, but it feels at this point it already feels relatively like disconnected. I can't like everything was so weird in 2022. But anyway,
it was a strange time.
Yeah. 2021, 2020. Yeah.
Oh, and then
that's cool.
Christmas party game. Like I told you, sometimes we do Pictionary or Win, Lose, or Draw. Mm-hmm. This is one we called Fleet Watch Feud, which Fleet Watch is a product that our company makes. Anyway, this is running on a little PC, and then I used Node.js so I could control it with a little tablet, so I could see the answers and I can pull up strikes and flip over the answers and give them points and stuff. So, and then these are little buzzers. So you buzz in and the lights light up for whichever side was first. And
that's cool.
It makes a little buzzer noise. So that was a lot of fun.
That's so, like, it looks simple, but there's a lot that goes into the back end of that.
Yeah, that took a while.
I'm sure it was a lot of fun, like actually having that physical standing there button that you can smack had to just add so much to that experience.
Yeah, and that came from my arcade experience, but I knew where to get some really good buttons you can hammer on without worrying about breaking them. And these are fun because the buttons light up too, so you can kind of see who won. But yeah, I had to learn like Node.js and all that stuff to do this, so that was an educational time. Oh, and here's during COVID, we couldn't. I love escape rooms and trivia and stuff. So logic puzzles. So during COVID, we couldn't go to escape rooms anymore as a family. So
I was going to make a joke on that upper left-hand photo that was that a picture of you defusing a bomb. Apparently, you've done that too, but I guess that's not too far off.
That's exactly what that is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a little spy mystery that, you know, a friend of yours turns out he's a spy, and he leaves you clues because something happened to him. So you have to figure out like what he was working on, and then, you know, end up using little RFID cards that you scan on a little RFID reader, and it tells you, you know, what color is positive, negative data. And then there's of course, your typical UV light puzzle, and we got a little travel log that you map out on a map, and it, you know, gives you a code to open a lock, and just fun stuff. Of course, we had a cryptic that you had to find the word and open it up to find all these covers, and you lay them over this one at a time, and it gives you another code, and you eventually it tells you which wire to cut, and then the code to get into this box, and then you cut the wire, and it'll either say boom, you're lost, or yeah, you won.
That was a 3D printed box too?
No, that's actually, well, the inside is, that's the top part is. And this is like a Pelican box we got somewhere, like super cheap. So I just had them laying around. So it was designed to fit in, you know, like stuff we already had. So I did buy the book face and the tackle box and some of the stuff. But
that's cool.
The UV pens. So anyway, that was a blast.
And did you come up with the whole kind of like story and throughput, like pathway of those escape rooms on your own too?
Yeah, that was another big challenge, was trying to figure out how to tie those. You know, you have a puzzle, like how do I turn this into a piece of the story? So
that's cool.
That was kind of fun. I don't know how good it is because, you know, just our family played it, but I've always wanted to take it to work or somewhere and have, you know, someone else try it and see how quickly. It's not like a super hard puzzle, but it was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
See, then we get like to 2015. That's when we started buying the random parts for the 3D printer. And then I noticed in October of 2016 is when I gave up trying to figure out how they all go together, and bought this super cheap Rep Guru kit, which was like, I think $350 or something. So at the time that was super cheap, which, you know, now you can get so many amazing printers for less than that. But anyway, so the most important piece of this was the instruction book that it came with. So I printed that out and put this all together, and then that finally the light bulb went off. I was like, oh, okay. So then I took all these parts and took them home and made this monstrosity here, but it worked. You can see it printing that's the first Benchy. I'm Team Benchy. But yeah, here's some of the first prints off of this printer were just a mess, but we figured it out. Didn't know anything and started off with ABS on this terrible open frame plastic printer, and you know, nowadays I would not try that, but I didn't know any better at the time. So, and then like we talked about,
still love the Flexi Burger.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones. That was all in Tinkercad. Tinkercad is like even more amazing now than when I started in it. It's some of the stuff you can do. And here are like a couple templates for work. We use them to drill boxes and things without having to measure. Anyway, that led into like a video I saw on Flexi Anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I bet I could do that. So
that's awesome.
Did that in Tinkercad. You can see the little cutters here. So I think the gorilla or the frog was one of my first ones. and then that led to Flexi Monkey and Burger, and
I
then
love Burger.
eventually kind of learned the limitations of Tinkercad for real design, for like industrial. So we switched. I talked them into getting a subscription to Fusion. This is my shut up button, which was a request from someone at work who has people standing by her desk all the time, so she can pop it out and just for fun. But more templates that we designed to help at work.
I'm still stuck in Tinkercad. I haven't taken any. I just haven't dedicated the time to learn Fusion 360 or anything like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is I'm not that good, but I'm willing to just hammer and beat on a design until it gets to kind of where I want it to be. So it's not talent, it's just sheer will that makes these things come into existence.
We now have FIXUMDUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUU
business card. But here's the well, I hung out on Reddit. I was never a Twitter guy, so this was my second kit card. Was that TIE Interceptor?
Yeah.
Posted that on Reddit, and then I got a message that said, you know, I want to showcase this in an upcoming video, and I had no clue who that was, and I was like, yeah, sure, you know, don't mind at all. And then
was it Joel?
I started looking at his history and stuff, and I go to the back, and I'm like, guys, I think that's the 3D printing nerd. Like, no way.
Awesome.
Like, yeah, so it was like this huge, long, like painful wait until to see if the video was actually gonna come out. So
that's cool.
But yeah, he eventually, and a lot of you, if you know me as Fixumduuuuuuuuude,
yeah,
it's probably from
that's where that comes from.
This video. So that was fun. I was sweating bullets whether the things were going to go together in the video or not. So my tolerances were not the best at the time. But yeah, and then I reached out to Joel on Patreon, and he eventually sent me the TIE Fighter and signed it.
That's cool.
So that was a really nice thing for him to do. And, you know, he's just an amazing guy. One of my 3D printing idols too.
I love those kit cards.
Oh, they're fun. But that was another thing, just like see if you can do it. You know, I'd never done one before, and we printed the Nakazin. He's got a kit card, you know, near the top of the contest on printables now too. But he's
nice.
Kind of the OG for me anyway. We printed his X-wing and several of his other Star Wars kit cards, and a guy in the back was like, well, what we need is a Millennium Falcon to go with it, and because he's a big Star Wars fan, bigger than I am. And so I was like, okay, let's see what we can do. So just like everything else, like I don't know how to do it, but we'll, you know, figure it out. So that turned into the 3D printing nerd, which once that video came out, everyone's like, dude, you got to get on Twitter. So I made Fixumduuuuuuuude on Twitter. The rest is history, kind of. And then, yeah, from Twitter, I found, or Chris Perillo found the TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
And I rediscovered Chris Perillo because I've watched him on, you know, Tech TV back in the day. And so started hanging out, and they invited me to be a moderator. That's where I kind of got to know Krusty and Pez Liz and a lot of the other people. And
so many good people.
Yeah, it's a great community. But yeah, we that turned into MakerDeck, which, you know, turned into what it is today.
I don't know what's MakerDeck. Zombie asked that too. He's like, "What's that?" As soon as you showed the MakerDeck stuff.
And then this is like you've seen some of the stuff just for fun. We're just messing around.
So cool.
We took the Pooch Rock and made him play the guitar, and then there's the Oreos in water. That one
still love that.
That one I had in my brain for a long time, and then finally had a chance to get it out and send it up there, and just
that is one of my favorite things ever. It's just so well done.
Thank you. It was fun to make, but yeah, we just I like to have fun, so
Mhm.
here's like my bad design for Krusty's birthday model last year, and then
Oh yeah,
Bugman took this horrible sketch and turned it into this amazing model.
it was awesome.
Oh, here's the clock, and then Tom Llama turned the Fixumdude that Bugman made into a Fixumdude. So that was
That's great.
hilarious. That's still on my desk at work too. So.
I haven't seen these Repcord thermals though. What is
Oh yeah,
going on here?
the Pooch was joking about uh, thermal underwear, and so we made an ad for the Repcord thermals, and then the special LM edition, and
Oh man, that's fantastic.
yeah, our Bugman glasses and the Milk Dudes, and just we just like to have fun and play
Yeah.
around.
This is what I mean by like you've got so many people that absolutely love you in this community, and I'm so surprised that I haven't asked you to come on already,
Oh,
or that you haven't been on already. I guess I just kind of, because I've always known of your name, I just kind of assumed, I guess, that you had been on the show before I showed up, or there was just a time that I just kind of got lost in my memory of guests that you had been on recently. I'm just still like confused about that part.
I still feel like just like a regular old dude, like a dad, So I was like, I just never thought I would be on the show. I just enjoyed watching it. So, like I said, this is a dream come true to actually be on HotMakes. So now the people at work won't be able to live with me even more.
So what was your association with the truck printer? Because Mitch said he loves the Transformers printer.
Oh, this is what we call my Craigslist problem. So if there's a 3D printer like under $100 within like 20 miles of my house, I kind of feel the need to go rescue it. And so this one was actually in my town. Like very few people, I think 2 printers I've gotten from the town I live in, but this was one of them. Some lady had it on Craigslist. I guess she bought it for her son, and they messed with it a little bit, and couldn't really get the hang of it. So it was like
more of a learning curve than expected.
I was like $50. It's anything under 100. I'm like, it's worth the parts to go get it. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's still in the box. I took it out and looked at it and then put it back, but I still have it.
You're creating a new habit. Why are you telling me all of this?
Oh yeah. It's fun. But yeah, there's some deals if you're patient and cheap like I am. Here's a Prusa Mark IIIS that a guy destroyed 2 hot ends. You can see it's missing. But yeah, in this box are the manuals and the remnants of 2 destroyed hot ends. But I got all that for like $200, and so that was good. There's some Monoprice minis that I used to love picking these up and fixing them up and getting them running again. I have several Ender 3 Pros that people have rehomed several of those.
So do you keep these, or do you end up reselling them, or?
Most of them I just give away, or I sell them for what I've got in them, just to get them out of my building and make some gal happy. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
awesome.
an addiction of mine. That and stickers. So you may have.
Yes.
Let me.
I love me some stickers too.
Over here. So yeah, we got Maker Deck stickers. Yeah. We had a blast giving these away at Murph.
So do you make
Fixumdude stickers?
That's cool.
So I have a sticker problem as well.
Yep. I actually have a whole like organizing drawer full of stickers that I just haven't done anything with yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to stick them on, and then I realized recently I've got a giant, just white monolith of a computer case that I'm probably going to start just blasting with stickers, because I collect them just like you do. I just collect them, and now I just have a drawer full of stickers, and I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, I like Chris Riley's idea of like putting him on his guitar case, and he's got that.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. I started putting some on my guitar case, but the guitar case texture the stickers wouldn't stick to it, and I ended up with quite a few of them peeling and falling off.
Speaking of Chris Riley, wish him a happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Little guitar. And also Bugman, happy birthday.
Bugman. Yeah, I should have mentioned those or added them to the list. I saw that going around Twitter today, and I didn't mention that. So yes, happy birthday, guys. All right. Well, we said it was going to be a short show, but first of all, thank you for sharing all of that.
Oh, no problem.
All the way back to the early days. It's awesome. Practical He says Nerdy J is fired. Why do I have the full-time job? I don't know that I can keep this up. Jim is replaced by FixUmDuUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUU right. So would you like to go look at some of the HotMakes today? Which is going
Yes,
to be
that's
interesting.
my
Because
favorite part. Not that I don't love all the guests, but
okay, let's check out some of this week's HotMakes. And of course, naturally, the first one on the list is one of yours. I don't know if this was tagged or if Jim just pulled it. So, quick peek behind the curtain. Jim pulls the HotMakes before we do the show, and usually like within like a half an hour to an hour of when we're supposed to go live. So I don't usually have enough time to see what they are before we start, and I kind of like going in blind anyway. So, we're gonna go through these HotMakes that Jim put on the list, and I have no idea what we're about to see. So this is gonna be a first for everybody.
Nice.
But yeah, so how did you kind of... These print and place models are based off of clock spring designs, right?
Kind of. Like I had done some for we had this 3D printing Christmas giveaway, and I designed several vehicles for that had print in place wheels, because I've always loved, it's not a new idea, but
No, yeah,
we did the print in place wheels, but they were afraid that they would break off too easily for small children and be a liability. So we ended up changing that to a fixed wheel that didn't turn. So I had those kind of in my background. And then when Clock Spring came out with that amazing flippy ladder fire truck, it's like, oh yeah, I remembered how much fun it was doing the vehicles. And so I remixed the fire truck into an ambulance and a police car, like using his wheels and the bottom of his. And then I was like, okay, well, I wanted to enclose the bottom and make a few tweaks. So I kind of redesigned the wheels and the bottom of the model and just did it new from the ground up. But it's definitely inspired by his, fire truck. Kind of got me thinking along those lines again.
And you've got a whole like series of these too, don't you?
Yes, there's I think like 10 now, but
and I love that you call them FIXUMDUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUU he may have pulled this for something else, but I just got to look at this real quick too. I really want to print one of these. This is so cool.
Yeah,
because some of your like a kit card model can only be so like accurate when it comes to the shapes of what you create.
Definitely.
This looks like a specifically designed and printed model just to be a little BD1 model, but it was a kit card. Like you, but it looks
definitely chunkier
like
than most. But...
That is so cool. I gotta print me one of those. But okay, but the reason I came over here was to look at. You've got a bunch.
If you go to collections, there's a.
Right. There we go. Yeah, you've got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it's got K2 Kevin's great remixes of the Little Big Rig and the big rig.
It's so cool. Garbage Truck. I'm sure Jim's kid probably loves that.
That was the most popular till they released the Jeep, and that thing shot up to like
Jeep did
almost 500 downloads. So.
That's super
Those
cool.
Jeep people are crazy.
I love what you did here with swapping the filament to make the racing stripe.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Well,
Yeah,
well
those
done,
are
dude.
fun.
I love the little stop sign that pops out. That's very
Oh.
cool. Well done. All right, let's see what. Yeah, the Discover More is going to be a bunch of the cool birthday prints. All right, let's see what's next. We got Killer Prince here. Love this one. Another excellent Hue Forge creation. Gonna need more Polymaker filaments at this rate. That is so cool.
Those are amazing.
I don't. Wow.
I bought the software, but I have not had time to play with it to figure out how to use it. But
I haven't messed with it either yet.
Blown away at some of the, models that people have produced with that.
You've got to really zoom in and to see the layer lines, and you can really only see them in the black there because of the lighting. But this is that's incredible detail. Oh, Llama just joined. A wild llama has joined the chat.
Yay! You missed
and
this
Kevin is here too. He says, "Jeep people are not crazy. You crazy."
I know I'm gonna get canceled by the Jeep people now. I love Jeeps.
This is gorgeous. Well done. Are we following? Nope, but we're gonna fix that. There we go. What? I don't know why that wasn't a thing. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Full Pooch engaged. Oh, Pooch got engaged. What? Oh, with the French cleats. Him and the French cleats.
Pooch is great.
He's fantastic. I miss having him on the show. He and Jim had a really good back and forth. He seems like he's having a good time right now, though. I miss the sushi rolling.
I miss the rants.
Dennis Crawford said he's afraid to start messing with HueForge.
It's
also
a little intimidating, or at least it was for me, but I need to watch some videos.
But we had him on the show recently, and he took us through a really nice little demo of how it works just before it was released. So go a few episodes back, and that would be a... Sorry, I had to do a little bit of self-plug there. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Dennis Crawford. Oh, that's funny. I just mentioned him. Let's see what's going on. He's on Instagram. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Can I make this bigger? I don't know that I can make it bigger. What is going on here? It reminds me of the those cool metal like automaton sculpture remote control things that one guy makes, the Danny guy. That's cool.
Wow.
And I'm assuming that's probably tied together with, the wheels as they move. But I wonder what's making the shifter. What would that be associated with? I don't know. That's really cool. Very, very cool. Also, I totally forgot. Typically what I do is I like and retweet things and we go through it. So I'll have to do that after the show. All right, let's see what else is going on. Local Maker Michigan. We have a Taco Cat.
Taco Cat.
Fantastic.
Oh, there's a new Taco Cat coming out soon. So it's actually says Taco Cat. So.
Taco Cat. That's awesome. What is that? What's that phrase called? There's a term for that when a like race car where the word can be reversed.
A palindrome.
Palindrome. Yep. I feel like the word for that should be able to be reversed.
Very true. Yep.
Okay. Very cool. Okay, so False Deities. We're gonna have him on the show here soon. I'll go over that in a little while when we're at the end of the show. But he actually sent this to us on the HotMakes account. He was working with a group called Gotham FX Studio, where he was capturing head scans, which I thought was really cool. Wow. He does a lot of scanning. We'll talk to him. He's not going to be on the show. I think he's going to be on the show next week. We'll check that again. But he's a really nice guy, really cool guy. I don't remember who exactly it was that recommended him to us. Let me double check because I want to make sure that I give people Oh, geez. I want to make sure I give people credit for things. I don't know. There it is. I believe it was. There it is. Andrew Sink. It was Andrew Sink's suggestion to get a hold of him. And I've talked to him very briefly behind the scenes. We got him scheduled, and he's a very, very cool guy. Very
nice.
kind. So I'm excited to have him on the show. And I'm sure he'll give us a little bit more insight on that when he's here. And, here's this guy again.
There's nothing else out there.
So, wow. Half the time, no. Half the time it's a little slow. But I'm glad that we've got a couple of your things on here. So this is really cool. Did you design this from scratch?
Yeah, like I said, I've been a big fan of Chris's since before I built the first printer. And so I finally got a chance to go to Murph and meet him. And, he's just even more, awesome in person, just a great guy. He and his wife are just amazing people.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do, something this year just for fun to celebrate his birthday. So I was like, well, some way we can combine guitars and benchies. So
I love that.
That's what we came up with.
That's such a cool design. It kind of makes me want to make a full-size playable one. Like, how cool would that be?
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
With the benchy top as well. Just all you got to do is spend a little bit of time and take that file and put it on a CNC and cut those pieces out of wood and just buy some hardware, and I'm sure to play.
That would be neat. Yeah, and Sir Will mentioned doing the 3D print bunny, who's also amazing, but doing her like string art for the strings on the guitar.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good idea.
That would be really cool. This is awesome. Well done.
Thank you.
I love that design, and I kind of want to make a full-size one now. We might be asking you for some help with some files there. And Stephen Poole has tagged us in. Okay, Lighthearted Fun Together. E3D is having some sort. Is this what you were talking about earlier? No.
I think that's a contest where you can have them rate your print if you tag it.
Okay. This is cool.
But yeah, Steven
very clean.
Has amazing models. Like the way his plain printing is incredible. But
no painting. It doesn't look like there's any painting. That is very clean. Very well done.
Yep.
I love it. And thanks for tagging the show. Appreciate that. Makes our jobs a little bit easier. All right, Jim pulled some interesting ones this week, and I'm glad that he still managed to do that, even though he's not with us tonight. He's okay. He should be okay. I hope he's okay. I'm going to check on him. So real quick before we start wrapping up, I should have done this before we jumped into HotMakes, but we did have a couple questions that people asked earlier in the chat. One of them is from my sweetheart, Sarah. She asked what your biggest inspiration for designs is.
That's hard to say. It just comes from everywhere. Probably the biggest is just seeing other people's stuff, like the kit cards, and then seeing how you could put your own spin on it, or making your own version of that kind of scratches your itch. And so that's but a lot of it just comes from ideas from other people. It just comes from everywhere, really. Driving down the road, it's hard to pin it down to one main thing.
See, I love hearing that, because at its core, that's the whole reason we do this show and the reason why I put so much time in it. Even though it feels like there's always more to do, there's still a lot of effort that goes into putting the show on. And what keeps me going is knowing that we can kind of collect things and show them off and provide commentary. We can bring cool guests in to provide commentary so that we can hopefully be a source of that. Being able to show people things that people are working on and help add to that inspiration pool. And like we were saying, keep feeding that continuous creative cycle. Creative cycle is my new band name, by the way. I'm going to play the Chris Riley guitar as the head man for Creative Cycle.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
So Higworks asked, question for Fixumduude, how did you get started into 3D modeling? I feel like you kind of touched that earlier.
just
Yeah.
trying to do our own stuff for work was the very first inspiration for trying to figure out how to 3D model. So just trying to help out, make things easier at work, and like I said, solution in search of a problem. So
Yep.
we were looking around for ways to make it useful. So, but I learned pretty early on that to do that, you have to figure out how to make your own models to do useful things with the 3D printer. So that was the main inspiration, was just trying to figure out how to turn it into a useful tool.
What is the I feel like I should know what this is, but what is the necessity is the
mother of invention?
Mother invention, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So.
And then earlier, Mitch asked the most important question that I'm surprised I haven't asked yet: is there a Fixum dog or a Fixum cat?
There is a Fixum dog. She's in there somewhere, probably in someone's lap. She's a little Bichon Frise, a little white French dog that just loves to be
those little white fluffy
near you. Yep.
Yeah. We when I worked at CME back in the day, Steve, the owner of the company, and his wife had a couple of Bichon. You probably pronounce it properly. We always call it Bichon.
I doubt it, but
and they were sweet little dogs. They were real cute.
Yeah, she never barks. She doesn't shed. She'll tell you when she wants to go out and come back in. So,
I do appreciate the not shedding part.
Yes. Yeah, both of our sons had allergies, so that was a major factor in getting her. They're good with kids and
good,
hypoallergenic, and aren't very loud and not aggressive. She's been great.
Well, I'm about ready to wrap this up because I'm surprised I haven't hit a brick wall yet.
So you made it to the end.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was going to be a shorter episode. I'm surprised I haven't fallen apart. You know what? I took a 10-minute nap, a whole whopping 10 minutes before the show started. So maybe that's where my nap came from. Yeah. Okay, so I apologize if anybody sent donations. I can't check them because they go to Jim, and then we use the if you put the text HotMakes in the PayPal donations, then we can attribute them to the show, but I don't have access to Jim's PayPal, obviously. At some point soon, I'm probably going to switch that over because we're kind of trying to do what we can to kind of keep things in their own columns, in their own categories. But to anybody who donated tonight, appreciated. I will see what I can do to try to remember to give you some shout outs next week. And then one last piece of info. We have a couple cool guests coming up for upcoming shows. One of them is the false deities that we talked about a few minutes ago. He does, he's a 3D artist and modeler. He does a 3D scanning. He's worked with VFX. One of the things that I really want to ask him about is that weird mischief. I don't even know if you want to call it a company, but I really want to ask him about that. And then that's going to be next week on July 27th. July 17th. He's going to join us. And then on July 31st, we're going to be joined by Digital Jimmy. And I am talking to a few other people. I've got Mars Gizmo and I are chatting, and Photos Mint and I are chatting, and a couple other people as well. But nothing is really set in stone yet. I just know that we're planning on having them on at some point. So we'll get the schedule out in future episodes as we continue to kind of solidify in. I didn't do this when we started. Jim usually does this. I forgot to ask you, but before we close, one last time for people who don't necessarily know, they know now, but who are you? What do you do? And where can people find you?
Oh, okay. I'm Mike, but you probably know me as Fixumdude. And I'm just a regular guy, a father, husband. I'm also an artist, maker, woodworker, graphic designer, 3D modeler. And you can find me on printables under Fixumdude, or I have a FIXUMDUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUUU model sites and social media things where I'm present. So that's me.
I love that you described yourself as just a regular guy, but then listed like 5 or 6 things that are like very specific trades that take a lot of effort that you're good at.
Anybody can do them with enough practice. I'm proof of that. So.
Well, something that Sarah taught me early on in the relationship that still tracks with me to this day is she used to correct me when I said I couldn't do something. She would tell me, it's not that you can't do it, it's that you don't know how yet.
Right, exactly.
I love that. And you are an example of, it's not that you can't do it, you just got to have the perseverance, you've got to have the right problem to solve, you know?
Yep.
And the right inspiration. So, well, dude, I really appreciate you joining tonight. I'm sorry that Jim couldn't make it. I'm sorry it was kind of a off night without having him here. I hope you still had a good time, though. I definitely appreciated having you on, and I appreciate
it was a blast without him here bugging us. So.
History. Oh, can't wait for him to hear that.
Just kidding.
No, we can cut out the just kidding part. No, I'll just snip the part where we said no. I'm kidding. All right, man. I appreciate it. Everybody have a good night. We're gonna wrap this up, and we will see you next week at 6 p.m. Central on HotMakes. Later.
Bye, everybody.